Modern Mark Productions.
BangaAmen checking in once again. Let's do our NXT reviews real quick. So, Zarya and Zoruka faced off against Chelsea Green and Piper Niven with their promo last week. Being the indication of all this, they had a pretty good intense match. And in fact, it looks like the first ever Canadian-born United States Women's Champion got her nose broke because they were bleeding. And after several high spots, you know what I'm saying, the winners ended up being Zoruka and Zarya. So the odd couple is actually doing a lot of good things right now. You know what I'm saying? The laid back and the beast. You know how they usually go. They're kind of like the female version of RK Bro, to a degree. Anywho, Jada Parker went against Kalani Jordan, and after the pretty, I like what they're doing with both of them. Jada Parker is remaining a threat, and she got the win after a very close and heated match between these gals. They've been beefing with each other for the past few weeks, and about time that these young ladies, these black queens, you know what I'm saying, had for now, an ending to the feud. And now it seems like Kalani Jordan is fighting with herself because she's trying to prove that she's not the same little Lonnie from Michigan State. Even though, she's proud of that, but she's not just a little girl anymore, the naive little girl anymore. So, anywho, after those matches take place, Ricky Starks is backstage and he's trying to make friends, but in reality, he just makes more issues. He tries to, he gives a dap to Ridge Holland, who tells him like, hey, I respect what you did last week, but I don't respect you, and you haven't really impressed me in the long run. We're gonna face off one day. To which Ricky Saints is like, all right, bet. Let's do that. Sorry, the artist formerly known as Ricky Starks. Still getting used to his new name. Ricky Saints, after approaching him, he walks off. And he walks off and he walks into him, and he walks into his old AEW mate, his old friend, which is now the current, but I don't want to spoil too much, but fuck it. The new champion he actually said in the future, Sean Spears and his group, he said, hey man, we are the ones that are going to win, I'm the one that's going to change the revolution. I'm the one that's got the revolution alive. It's going to be televised, but it's going to be televised when I win the North American Championship, which he went on to do after a very, very excellent match. We got to hear from the Hardys, Hank and Tank interrupted their thankfulness of being there speech. And then that got interrupted, because they were asking for advice, like, what must we do to be like you guys? Because we actually got respect. Because the crowd was mad as hell that they interrupted them, but then they were like, oh yeah, you guys are the babyface, it's cool. So then, Corey's his name. What's my nigga name? Jensen? Yeah, Jensen. Jensen and his partner come out, and my boy, I'm sorry, I got the mixed up. Josh Briggs and Yoshiki Inamura come out, and they're basically like, bro, stop kissing ass, man. And telling Hank and Tank, like, y'all not gonna be the ones to follow their footsteps. We are, and what they mean, and what the Hardys mean by being extreme, it don't just mean tables, ladders, and chairs. It means taking the responsibilities and the risks. Basically echoing what the Hardys just said. So at least an AF for listening skills. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that didn't end well. They jumped. Hank and Tank are like, all right, y'all finished? All right, y'all think what I'm thinking? Hell yeah. So they do the top, where they jump over the ring, over the barricade, and jump on their opponents, and they get the fight backstage. So, then Fraxium are right behind them, because either Matt Hardy was looking at the title drum, or he had a premonition that Fraxium was standing right behind him. And because either way, he goes, oh, Fraxium, brothers Fraxium, I knew you'd come. And then the crowd pops for that. So then Cora going one-on-one with Jordan after their little heated exchange backstage. They go on a one-on-one match, but it looks like her knee buckled, but it looks like she's okay. But they took a precaution because she's been posting like, hey, she's good, she's okay, as an update. And I hope Cora Jade is, because it looked like it was gnarly, because she said, yo, my knee, she even said like, yo, I'm fucked, my knee's fucked up. But maybe it was probably just like a twist instead of a pull. a pull instead of a break. So hopefully she's okay, and if she is, you know what I'm saying, out of action, it won't be for a couple of weeks, or because I believe she has a, you know what I'm saying, a match coming up against Masha for the TNA title, because Masha was in the audience. But yeah, that happened. Then Trick Williams, who was this match is because Trick Williams and Kale Dixon and Uriah Connors, on behalf of, you know what I'm saying, Andre Chase, they you know what I'm saying, I think Ava, he was trying to, you know, get another world shot, but she was like, dude, you gotta at least get through, you know, your demons, and get through who you're, you know, before you get anything. And so he's like, you don't understand, Ava. I'll do whatever it needs to do. I'll beat Eddie Thorpe, who just beat him, and foreshadowing that for a couple weeks. And then, you know, Kale and Uriah, they come there interrupting, meaning well, but they interrupt and they're like, hey, can you sign this petition to bring back Chase U, even though it's fair and square, and Duke Hudson, shout out to my nigga, is all gone, and the rest of them are either, you know, recovering from injuries or on a break or whatever. So that's what's really going on with Chase U. But yeah, Chase U, you know, these guys are passionate about bringing it back, and as you see, they talked them into Andre Chase into a couple of matches. They didn't end well, but they tried. They got his best interest, from what I see. But be that as it may, Trick Williams don't care about none of that. He pushes them. He basically tells them, like, see me in the ring, since everybody want to keep interrupting what I got going on, and he beats the crap out of him, and within like a few seconds, trick shot, like just like that, just like that, takes his ass out. Pause. So Eddie Thorpe grabs, you know, so he comes after. No, I'm sorry. Trick Williams calls out Eddie Thorpe, and of course Eddie Thorpe obliges. You know what I'm saying? So Eddie Thorpe is like, okay, so you finally, okay, you made time for me. So, you know, you want some smoke. And Trick Williams said, I'll happily oblige. Name the time and the place. You can do so. You won. Go ahead. And Eddie Thorpe just says, bet. Give me 2 weeks and an NXT Underground match, which I think Eddie Thorpe is like 2-0 in those. And Lola Vice is undefeated in those too. So, yeah, like, statistically, it's against a hard uphill battle for Trick Williams, but I think he's gonna get him. But then we fast forward to Tony D'Angelo, who is pissed off at, you know what I'm saying, at Izzy Dane for turning heel and basically echoing CM Punk. I could say some things about Izzy Dane, but I'm pretty sure Netflix and CW would get off the air, so I'm gonna spare that, basically. And he's talking about protecting his title, protecting his back, because, you know what I'm saying, they did, you know, put an APV on that man's back. Pause. But of course, Stax is the main one worried, but, you know, there's only so much that Stax could warn him and save him from, so to save him from his own pride. So we go into a pretty intense back and forth match there and whatnot. And like I said, D'Angelo put up one hell of a fight, but it was Sean Spears' night. Sean Spears set up attacks, had his family ready, which of course now this is Brooke Jensen. Brooke Jensen, Izzy Dane, Nico Vance, all of them had their back. And like I said, the family could do so much. They even the score and whatnot. And in fact, he kicked out of so much, like the camel clutch was applied to his bad back, the like stomps to his back, and like the whole match, even though he was doing like a array of moves and whatnot and did a few high fly moves and whatnot, this was really just a physical hard-nosed match. But after a while, he even took a few of his finishers, I believe. But yeah, the C4, that's what it's called. He took a few C4s, you know what I'm saying, but he didn't like, he countered to being the spine buster after spine buster, to like finally he kicked out of a couple C4s. He couldn't take it anymore, and he was about to land his finishing move, but he couldn't. His back gave out, and then he got hit with one last spine buster. Winner and new North American champion, Shawn Spears. And he remembers when Shawn Michaels kicked Stan, because Shawn Michaels tried to shake his hand after the match, and Shawn Michaels looked at that nigga like, hey. And he looked at and Shawn Spears looked at that nigga like, laughed at him and walked away. That is long-term storytelling. I give NXT an 8.5, maybe even a 9, because the action picked up very well. And I know there was a bit of a real ratings drop. I think they got like 699,000, almost 700,000 views, and they topped out at 747. But that's if you're like academics, you care about viewership and numbers and shit like that, instead of just enjoying the goddamn product. I enjoyed the goddamn product, and hopefully this makes you want to watch it. At least look at some highlights, and take care, spike your hair, wear a mask, don't, whatever. All the past euphemisms that I use. Take care of yourselves and each other, your sister and your brother. Love each other, motherfucker. I'm gone.